Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. We're diving into a story that's been buzzing around the NFL circles for a few days now, and it's got every Falcons fan talking. Imagine a trade that could reshape the NFC South, shake up the entire landscape of the division, and potentially propel Atlanta into a new era of competitiveness. That's exactly what's happening right now, with whispers of a blockbuster deal involving Jalen Waddle from the Miami Dolphins. Yes, Waddle, one of the most electric young wide receivers in the league, possibly heading north to Atlanta in exchange for some significant assets. It's a move that could redefine the Falcons' offense and give them a serious boost as they look toward the second half of the season and beyond. So let's break down what this trade actually involves and what it could mean for both teams. According to sources close to the league, Miami, currently sitting at a disappointing 1-6 record, is considering trading Waddle. Why? Well, the Dolphins are facing multiple issues. Their defense is leaking points at an alarming rate, giving up around 29 points per game, which is definitely a concern. Their cap situation is also tight, with only about $1.8 million available per Spotrac as of October 2025. It's a tricky spot for Miami, and with their rebuild potentially on the horizon, they're looking to clear some cap space and retool on the fly. And Waddle, for those who don't follow the Dolphins as closely, is an absolute game changer. This guy is a true speedster, an elusive deep threat capable of stretching defenses like few others in the league. In his career so far, he's amassed 332 receptions for over 400 yards and has scored 23 touchdowns. His yards per reception sit at an impressive 13.3, and he's a Pro Bowler in 2024 with a PFF grade of 88.7, which is elite. In 2025, he's been quite productive, already with 28 catches for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns in just 6 games. His ability to get separation is top tier, with an average of 3.1 yards of separation per target, and his EPA per target is 0.32, meaning he's consistently creating value for the Dolphins' offense. But let's not forget, Waddle has had some injury issues this season. An ankle injury in Week 3 limited him to 72% of the snaps, but even with that, he's demonstrated his explosiveness, with 12 receptions for 20 or more yards. That's a key stat, especially when you compare him to other deep threats in the league. For example, Metcalf has seen a boost in aerial yards after a trade, and Waddle's ability to contribute big plays is undeniable. So what's the motivation for Miami? Well, as their rebuild progresses, they're eyeing future assets, and trading Waddle could free up around $28 million in cap space with a recent extension that's been factored in. Plus, they're looking to bolster their pass rush, which has struggled this season. This is where the Falcons come into the picture. Atlanta, sitting at 3-3 and currently in third place in the NFC South, has been somewhat limited at the wide receiver position. Drake London has been solid, with a PFF grade of 86.2, but they've lacked that true deep threat after releasing McLeod III. Waddle, if he joins the Falcons, would immediately inject a dose of explosive speed and playmaking ability. It's not just about adding a receiver, it's about transforming the entire offense. Imagine Desmond Ridder now with a weapon like Waddle stretching the field. His presence would open up the underneath routes for Robinson, who's been playing well with a PFF grade of 84.6, and for London, who's been reliable and can now benefit from the extra space created by Waddle's speed. And it's not just about the receivers. Waddle's addition would have a significant impact on the Falcons' passing attack, which despite some solid performances has been inconsistent at times. Currently ranked around the 18th in the league, Atlanta's offense could leap into the top 10 with a deep threat capable of turning short passes into big gains. This would also help the running game. Bijan Robinson, who's averaging 4.2 yards per carry, would see even more opportunities as defenses stretch to cover Waddle's vertical routes. Plus, with the added threat of Waddle, the Falcons could see a reduction in turnovers, which have been a problem at times this season, averaging 1.4 per game. Now, on the defensive side, Atlanta might see some benefits as well. the team has been battling some injuries and inconsistencies in their secondary. Players like Phillips, who's dealing with a triceps injury and illness, and Fuller, who's questionable, have made life tougher for the Falcons against the pass. But acquiring a player of Waddle's caliber creates new opportunities for the offense to control possession and keep opposing defenses on their heels, which in turn could take some pressure off the secondary. Meanwhile, the Falcons are also considering their need for more pass rush help. They've been somewhat shorthanded on the edge and linebacker positions, with Walker and Diblo battling injuries. Adding a player like Arnold Ebakti, who has a PFF grade of 79.4 and can contribute as a versatile edge rusher, fits well into their plan to bolster the front seven and create more pressure on quarterbacks. And that's where things get really interesting from a strategic perspective. The trade, if it goes through, would be a bold move for Atlanta. It would send a message that they're all in for a deep playoff run this year and that they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Waddle's speed, combined with the Falcons' offensive system, could turn him into a playoff nightmare for defenses. His track speed of 4.37 seconds in the 40-yard dash makes him one of the fastest players in the league, and that kind of speed, especially in the playoffs, is a game changer. His ability to produce clutch plays in high-pressure situations, averaging 85 yards per game in the playoffs, makes him a true X-factor for Atlanta's postseason hopes. Looking ahead, the potential odds for the Falcons winning the Super Bowl have already seen a boost. According to DraftKings, after rumors of this trade gaining traction, the odds jumped from plus 3,500 to plus 1,800. That's a huge swing, and it reflects the optimism that Waddle could be the piece that pushes Atlanta from a solid team into a true contender. The NFC South has been unpredictable so far, with teams like Tampa Bay and Carolina trying to stay competitive, but the Falcons are positioning themselves as serious contenders. Coach Arthur Smith and his staff are known for their innovative offensive schemes, and adding a weapon like Waddle could unlock even more of what they want to do offensively. Of course, nothing is certain until the trade is finalized, but the signs point to a very real possibility. The Dolphins are looking to rebuild and maximize their assets, while the Falcons are eager to push further into the playoff picture. If this deal happens, it will be one of the most talked-about trades of the season, and it could be the spark that ignites Atlanta's Super Bowl aspirations. Imagine Waddle in that red and black uniform, blazing down the sideline, drawing double coverage, and creating opportunities for everyone around him. It's a vision that could become reality very soon. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So in summary, folks, this potential trade is not just a rumor, it's a game changer. The Atlanta Falcons could be on the verge of acquiring one of the league's most explosive wide receivers, someone who can turn a game around in a heartbeat. It's a move that signals their serious intent to compete at the highest levels, and it's a move that could redefine their entire offensive identity. For Miami, it's a strategic decision to rebuild and gather future assets, but for Atlanta, it's about seizing the moment and making a statement. With Waddle, Robinson, and London forming a dynamic trio, the Falcons could finally have the offensive firepower they've been seeking for years. And in the NFL, sometimes one trade, one game-changing player can make all the difference between a season of hope and a season of championships. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. Do you think this trade will happen? Are you excited about the possibility of Waddle in Atlanta? How do you see this impacting their playoff chances? I'm eager to hear your predictions and your thoughts on how this could unfold. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. This is your go-to channel for all things Falcons, and we're just getting started. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep that Falcons spirit alive.